Hey y'all, it's Renegade, and the Reali-Tea podcast is back again. We took a little bit of a break during the last few weeks, but we are focused, galvanized, and we're ready to talk all things Drag Race. And while we're going to save our deep dive into Season 17 for another video, because trust me, we have a lot to say about this last season, tonight we want to get into some quick hype for some All-Stars 10, which is coming this week. Insane that we're already 10 seasons into All-Stars, but okay, sure, whatever. But for all of that, y'all, make sure you like and subscribe for more additional content, because we will definitely be covering the season all season long. And who else is here to join me but my one and only Drag Race expertise? And trust me, he's even more rotted now that he's been gone than you hoes in the comment section that just like type choices for our ranking videos. Yeah, I'm looking at you, y'all. Um, let's go ahead and bring out QuackrrJack, y'all. Jack, it's been a hot minute. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good. I always have an opinion for everything, so I'm excited.
We all know that you're one love to talk, so we're definitely love to get some hype going here for this newest season of All Stars 10. Which, speaking of, can you even imagine that we would be 10 seasons into All Stars at this point? Like this, it seems insane to me that we have 10 All Star seasons.
Honestly, people think that we're going too fast, and I think we have enough queens to keep going. Like, I love it. I'm here for it. I think, the girls spend a lot of money to go on these shows. I think they get a lot extra bookings. I love that it's helpful for them, and the prize money could be a little bit better, so I'm not mad about them, you know, doing it more often so we get more winners, getting more money. I think that's great.
Honestly, I see it in two different perspectives because there's part of me that really liked the idea of them just doing like the all-star seasons every 4 years or something along those lines, because it felt like it made things a little more special, a little bit more like valued for their spot. It felt like girls really wanted to, come back for all-stars. And then like I would say after like all-stars 4, I mean, we've been through like a lot through at this point as far as the All Stars format goes, from like them starting with teams to lip syncs for the legacy to lip sync assassins to like nobody going home because they're a winner or for charity. We've gone through a lot as far as I'm concerned when it comes to these All Star formats. So it definitely feels like a little bit of the specialness has been taken away, unfortunately. But I will say, I feel like there's a little bit of energy kind of going for All Stars 10, at least a little bit for me, just kind of because they're shaking up the entire format. I'm not sure how I feel about this whole format here. But do you think this was necessary here that they needed to make a format change here, Jack?
Well, seeing that the last one, if we don't include the last one where it was everyone stays forever because it was all winner, or I'm sorry, it was charity, and we don't include the season 7, everyone stays. Season 8 really kind of had a very bad taste in a lot of other people's mouths because it felt very overproduced, and so I think this is a kind of good way to maybe try to get rid of that old past idea of what we knew about All Stars, and it's a great opportunity to bring back some older queens who are from the older seasons, and I think, pair them against some of the newer queens. And I like that we're doing this idea of a tournament format, but I'm not sure I fully agree with the format they've gone with this time, but I do see some positives.
Hmm. And let's go ahead and we can kind of talk about the format here, just because um, there's still a lot of questions, I feel like, as far as how exactly this is all going to go down here, for the better and for worse. But according to the Drag Race Wikipedia, which is one of my favorite places on the internet, spent far too much time there making these videos here. But according to them, for the first time ever, RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars will introduce a brand new format across 12 episodes: the Tournament of All Stars. The Queens, 18 of them, by the way, the biggest cast we've ever had. They will be divided into three groups of six, each competing in their own bracket across 3 episodes. At the end of each bracket, the top three queens with the highest point totals will advance to the semifinals, where they'll go head to head with the top queens from the other groups in another round of fierce competition over 2 episodes. The tournament will then culminate in an epic lip sync smackdown for the crown. grand finale episode where the finalists will battle it out for a grand prize of $200,000 and a place in the coveted Drag Race Hall of Fame. So, in other words, it sounds like here the way that this is going to be kind of separated is into four, I would guess, different sections. The first three would be 3 episodes each for each of the three groups, where they compete to make it into, I guess, the merged group, I guess we would say at the end, final nine, possibly based off of this. And then those final nine will then be eliminated down to 2 episodes. In those 2 episodes, to it sounds like, I mean, lip sync SmackDown, I would assume four that point, right? So, four people in the finale. It's a lot of eliminations to be happening at once here, girl. Jack, what are your kind of thoughts overall hearing all of this and kind of what sort of like pros and cons you see with a format like this, especially with a production team that you know that loves to tamper with shit?
So that's my number one concern is it going to be too produced? Are we going to get too much going on? I think we all agree that this past season of All Stars, it felt very produced. Not everyone was always happy with the outcomes. So I think that the idea of splitting them into smaller groups at the beginning is great. I think it's an amazing way that we can really get to see each of the queens really give us what they deliver, hopefully in like an acting challenge, a design challenge, and maybe like a performance challenge. So we kind of get something of everything for each of them. And I don't know if it's going to be based on these badges because that's what it's kind of looking like or whatnot. And then we're going to take the top three of each group. I think it's a great idea as like a first stage. But like you mentioned, 2 episodes to get from 9 queens, if there are three from each group coming, to four potentially is really crazy. And I kind of don't see it any other way because I'm like, you can't exactly do like a 6 queens at the end or an 8 queens at the end. Like, so it becomes very difficult. And to judge in 2 episodes, I don't think that's possible either. So I think that we're going to be looking at that badge system again. And you might make it through the first part, but you have to do extra work to make it through the second part then, especially depending on who in the other groups was getting these badges.
And another thing too that I want to kind of call out there as well is how are they going to exactly make these three challenges exactly fair? Because I know you kind of said like they're okay. There's three different types of challenges and whatnot, but
Hopefully.
like I just I find it hard to really find like a really fair competition unless we're really seeing like three literally of the same carbon copy challenges pasted over and over for what at this point 9 episodes for each group
Right.
to do. I don't know if that sounds the most exciting. Like I like the idea of it. Like I'm gonna be very open minded going into this. I'm going to because I mean at this point, like you said, anything is worth trying. Um, but I could definitely see this kind of devolving, especially at the end game, into just like a situation where like, okay, well, maybe certain individuals started out a lot better because they had a challenge group, or I would say maybe a challenge set that did them better, and then maybe like a group of queens that maybe kind of like suck at that same sort of like kind of challenge. Um, and then for whatever reason that queen having a much bigger advantage going into the end game if these points are cumulative. I don't know how you go from 9 to 4. That is going to be, I feel like, the biggest question mark. Because I love the fact that all these queens get at least 3 episodes to, do their thing. And I also love the fact that they don't have to necessarily, well, I mean, I'm not sure if it's necessarily out there whether or not, like, once they qualified, if they were, like, were they given everything up front, like, on, like, a normal season? Like, the people, like, you get to the end, the finale stuff? Or did they just have to plan for 3 episodes? And then if they got through the 3 episodes, then they got to plan again. I'm a little confused, but there's a lot up in the air, and there's a lot of things that could possibly come good from this. I want to say I'm more optimistic. Do you feel a little bit more optimistic, Jack? Or are you just very guarded? Because I know season 17 has us all on our guards, honestly.
Now, for me personally, I think that there's a lot. How do I say this? There's a lot of tension in what could happen, especially like we said, season 17, and then what happened on seasons 9 and 8 of All Stars aren't exactly giving us the best case scenario. So I think this mix up is good. I think I'm mostly looking at it as optimistically here. I'm really hoping each set of girls has to go through a ball challenge. I think that's a perfect, like, you're going to have a chance to make your own outfit, but also show what you brought. So that's a great opportunity, especially if it's going to be a ball and like maybe it's a unique kind of out of the box kind of materials. So I think a ball challenge would be great to see for all of the queens. It would kind of be fair playing ground. I mean, even if you don't sew, you should be able to construct or style something in your own drag. Maybe something like a girl group performance for all the girls. That could be very fair game. Could make it very easy. There wouldn't have to be too much producing going on. I mean, when you look at acting challenges, you kind of look at the script and you're like, what parts are best. In a girl group performance, you get to write your stuff. So if they got that, great performance challenge possibility.
True.
And then I thought about this, and I don't know that they're necessarily going to do 3 different snatch games because that seems like a lot, but it is an improv challenge with the
Hmm.
goal of just to make Rue laugh. But it's somewhat fair, right? If everyone gets the same kind of, or maybe we'll see it in the final 9. Maybe that's when we'll see the snatch game happen.
Right? Because I was wondering when are they going to do snatch games? I feel like doing three different snatch games would get old a little bit, you know? I mean, who knows? There could be novelty in it, especially if everybody is good. I think there's potential to have some really good characters out of this group, but the repetition is, I feel like, what's going to be something that I don't think that they're going to be willing to do. So I think it's going to be likely that we get something where it's probably three slightly different versions of the same challenge. Hopefully it's not anything too drastic from there. And then maybe like we see Snatch Game when they all group together. But then I'm also like, okay, what else could they possibly do? Like the Rusical, maybe too, when they all group together at the end too. Because I'm like, when else would they do the Rusical? Um, but as we know of like from season 17, they don't necessarily have to do all their stable challenges. They didn't have a girl group
No,
challenge
definitely
there,
not.
so like who knows really what they're gonna go for. But hopefully, whatever they do, they do. Whatever ends up happening here is, at least gives the opinion or the overall feeling of fairness, even if they're planning on doing their production shenanigans behind the fat. Like do your things behind the scenes, that's fine, but don't make it so obvious, please. Um, I do want to say one thing though that I'm very greatly kind of enjoying about this season is the promo. I actually think it's a very vibrant promo. Like I love the fact that they decided
Oh
to
yeah.
choose orange, pink, and purple. I think these are like it's such sunset colors. I love those colors together. Um, Survivor, if you ever decide to do like All Star season, please make these your tribe colors. This would be beautiful. I would love this shit. But I feel like that was the benefit of this is that these promos looked really good. I really enjoyed everybody's look here. It was a nice introduction to some people we haven't seen in a while, and then some people that we have seen even recently as like this season. I feel like there is even noticeable glow ups here. Jack, what do you think about the promo overall?
I think the promos were mostly good. I think there were definitely some groups that did better than others. I don't know if this is any indication of. I'm not fully sure if promos happen after the season, so maybe that gives an indicator, or if it's
I think this one
before.
was after. I want to
This
say
one
I
was
think
after.
this particular one was after.
See, that's something that I always worry about is when you do promos like this. I'm always like, is it gonna be before or after, and what does that mean for the girls and how much effort they're willing to put in? But I will say that we've got a lot of good looks, a few very great standout looks, and a few, well, they put on a dress looks, So there's quite a bit of variety here at the very least. If nothing else, we've got variety. And that's always a fun thing to see in our promo looks. That being said, the groups, I think the different groups are really what was most shocking to me was how are they going to split this up? Oh, the girls in here. How are they going to decide who's the winner during different challenges? Will the group people actually matter, or is it just based on the judges' challenges preferences? There's so much to consider when you're looking at three separate groups, three separate promos, all somewhat with the same category except a different color.
Mm-hmm. I thought they did a pretty good job as far as separating queens from different seasons, making it so that like there was a good variation of placements within each season. I could see
Well,
them setting up certain individuals for certain storylines here and there, especially I don't know if you saw the EW special, but after especially hearing some of the storylines that I didn't know kind of existed between some of these people, I'm already kind of looking at like, well, I see why this individual was in this group or this individual is in this group, and I kind of can see the storylines already forming in my head a little bit here with certain things. So I'm kind of very interested to break down these groups here. So um, we could actually go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and start off with our first group here of six contestants with the orange bracket who will be in our first few episodes here. And we have Aja from season 9 in All Stars 3, returning for her second All Star season. Bosco from season 14, who was one of the finalists as well. Deja Sky, who placed 6th/7th place in season 14. We have Irene the Alien, first eliminated contestant from season 15. Olivia Lux, 5th place from season 13, and Phoenix from season 3, who placed second to last. Who was definitely, I think, probably for me the most shocking person to see on this cast. I never, ever,
definitely.
ever thought we would see Phoenix ever again, honestly. Uh, but I'm very actually excited for this orange group. I mean, I'm excited for all the groups, honestly, to some degree. But this orange group is very intriguing to me for a lot of different reasons. I feel like, especially right off the bat, one storyline that we're going to see a lot of, just because it was definitely something I feel like they brought up a lot in the EW interview, is this connection between not only like Bosco and Deja Sky, where Deja is feeling like she's probably going to be obsessed with Bosco, but also Irene and Bosco. If y'all remember, they're drag sisters that grew up together. In the one episode that I went and rewatched, Irene's double premiere from season 15, and I totally forgot that she literally was like, okay, well, like, yeah, Bosco and I are sisters. She went the devil route, and I went the alien route. I'm like, okay, well, are they trying to set up here both these girls for success in regards to the situation? And personally, in my opinion, I definitely see one girl, and maybe she might be from season 14 in each of these groups that this one girl happens to be. But I see them definitely setting up one girl for success absolutely within this group. But yeah, I don't want to say it just yet because I want to. We haven't actually talked about our opinions 100% on each group here, so kind of want to know what your thoughts are on this group and which three you are more than likely seeing making it through to that next round.
I think we saw some really strong showings in this group in the promo looks. And I think, I have my preferences, but I think Bosco and Irene both kind of have a pretty good shot. I think Bosco's guaranteed. I think
Hmm.
that's a 100% guaranteed. I think Irene has a pretty decent shot because a lot of people wanted to see more of her drag after she got eliminated on season 15. So I could definitely see a world where she comes back, gets some. If she doesn't go all the way, maybe she just gets some redemption from her original season since she was the first to leave. I know Olivia Lux is a big contender for who people want to see because I know that they loved her on her season. I could see her doing well, and then I think the other, I don't want to say guaranteed, but in my mind, two of them are completely guaranteed to go to the second rounds, and it's definitely Aja and Bosco. I think Aja is here to really prove what she can do. I think her run on All Stars 3 really kind of spoiled some of the experience for Drag Race All Stars for us. A lot of girls thought she'd do better, and I don't think she necessarily got the fairest chance when it came to that season. And so I think with all the fan backing, especially, and how strong of a performer she is, she's going all the way with Bosco to the next round.
I definitely agree 100%. 1000% when I was alluding to that season 14 girl that I felt like was kind of set up in this group to go far. Definitely Bosco, for sure. And I don't think it's necessarily unwarranted. I don't necessarily know if I was the biggest Bosco fan on season 14,
I
but it's
wasn't.
very clear that Rue has an affinity towards her. I will say she was really good in all of the comedy challenges. Anything where she got to speak, she's very well spoken. I do think that is one of her strengths, and I do think she's pretty funny to some degree. So, and she has like a very I don't know if her comedy style necessarily resonates with everybody, but I think she's pretty funny. Um, so I could see why Rue values her a whole lot. Again, season 14 I think might be one of those casts that resonate with a lot of other people, and especially with Rue a lot more than with me personally. I don't. I even went back and rewatched season 14 recently. I still don't know if I'm really feeling the group as a whole, like but like everybody, you're welcome to your own opinion. But yeah, Bosco to me, 100% is it feels like the one girl that is 1000% guaranteed to be there, whether she does well or not, because production will make sure that she gets there. Um, my second choice, I think, along the lines of what you were saying there as well, about this queen here is Aja. Aja, for me, feels like she's going to be the queen from this orange group that earns her spot in this next thing moving forward. Just because, like in All Stars 3, like you said, like she was already in a lot of ways kind of a full package, but I do think just because she was sort of again still younger, maybe not as established in the industry like some of the other girls. And I think one common trope you see in a lot of these is the girl that gets brought back immediately from another season. Like that girl never does well. That girl will never win. Katya is
Hmm.
probably the best that we will ever see that happen just because she had such fan support going into this. But like I don't think anybody who is from if there was someone from season 16 too, I'd question even for them if it was too soon for them to return. But if you're returning that soon, they don't have you in mind to win. And it's unfortunate because Aja again did bring a lot to season 3, but I don't think that she got the credit that she, like I said, just because of the fact she wasn't as notable as some other queens. So as far as that goes, I do think Aja and Bosco, I agree with you, I think are locked. I think that third spot is very wide open though, just because I mean, like Phoenix had 1 episode, 2 episodes. Sorry. So who even knows what Phoenix can do right now? I think she's probably the one girl that people are probably writing off the most, just because I mean we haven't seen her, and she also did
Correct.
the worst. So, um, I would like to see Phoenix move on, but I'm not counting
Agreed.
on it. One of those
Yeah,
things.
definitely not probably going to happen.
Um, so now it's between the other three, and I would say between the other three, if I'm going to be honest, once again, I feel like again they brought these season 14 girls back for a reason, and they split them up in a particular way, and I don't really feel good about Deja Sky's chances here. Just because if they're going to give anybody from season 14 like that pass, I don't think it's gonna be Deja. I really like Deja. Like I watch her YouTube channel all the time. I just don't think that they think of Deja as a priority here at all whatsoever. So I think it comes down between Irene and Olivia, 100%. Will Olivia be able to kind of do what she did the first season, where you don't necessarily know if I would have given her the wins that she did? I can't deny that she resonated with the judges. She had some success there with them, so we can't discredit that portion of it. Uh, but I even just going back to season 15, and I wish I was podcasting during season 15, but like Irene is by far, even more than Lucky Star is this season. Irene is the most shocking first boot of all time. we'll put it down on paper. Um, I think she could literally be the dark horse to possibly win this. Like, I don't think she's
Yeah,
actually ever going to win. I but like if they manage to get her to the end group for whatever reason, right? And say she resonates that much with fans, who knows? Honestly, I think she is definitely going to probably be, I think probably that queen that has like her breakout moment, regardless whatever happens this season. Like I can't imagine her coming in with this promo, like top three promos of this group, without her delivering. So, am I gonna do it? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you. Irene, Bosco, I think will be my locked in three. Um, if anybody's going to be a dark horse, Irene will be that dark horse. So, um, yeah, I think I kind of agree with you on the orange group. Is that are we locked in here? Do we think Aja,
yeah, I'm
Bosco,
pretty locked in
Irene?
on that. I mean, look, Olivia and Deja and even Phoenix, they all technically have a chance, but at the end of the day, it's really just going to come down to probably who like judges like the most. I mean, if we're being honest, we've seen a lot of messiness happening over the last couple seasons, and I don't see that necessarily stopping. So
I
if
think
Irene is
honestly. Oh,
able to give that,
mhm.
no,
I was gonna
I
say
was to say,
oh no, go.
yeah, Irene is just. I agree with you. Irene's that dark horse pick. I think she's that girl that we really saw, especially on the reunion of her season. We were like, oh shit, bring her back, bring her back. So the girls are wanting this. They've been wanting this.
I think there's two factors here. One, what type of like comedy challenges and whatnot we get, because I think depending on the type of challenge, Olivia could do well or do really bad just based off of that. And then two,
Yeah.
it's how quickly does Irene become comfortable? Because as she said in that EW interview, she hasn't done a regular challenge. She only did the talent show. So it's like she's never even been able to do anything, anything. Phoenix has more experience than she does at this point. So it's like I don't think that's going to be anything that hinders her though. I feel like she's I do think I give her the edge over Olivia. So yeah, I feel good about that top three. Um, between the three though, I would say I'd probably edge the orange person if I was to give anybody winner credential at this moment. Probably Bosco, just because that entrance look. Oh my god, that entrance look.
I'm
If
gonna
that's
get
what
to
she's
Asha.
delivering here, oh, I want it to be Aja. I want it to be Aja. Aja's like my want, but I just, it's hard to look back at season 14 and realize that like they gave Bosco the chocolate bar. Like they're gonna push Bosco as far as they possibly can. I just, I feel like Bosco's always gonna be someone production wants more than Aja. So even if Aja maybe earns it, I still think that Bosco is probably gonna be the orange girl to watch. That brings us to our next group of six, though, because that brings us to the pink group. And honestly, pink group, I was a little worried for just based off of these promos. I was just kind of like,
Oh,
uh, I think the weakest group of promos, but then I was like, okay, these entrance looks, they brought the entrance looks, so um, wasn't as mad at them. But let's go ahead and introduce our second bracket of queens, who I actually think may be the most fun group. We have Georges, who is returning fresh off of her All Stars 9 stint, also from season 14. Shocker. We have Carrie Colby, also from season 14, who placed ninth. Who was eliminated right before like that string of like three or four long non-elimination episodes, which was unfortunate because I would have loved having Carrie there. But we also have Lydia Butthole Collins, literally 5 days after her season, showing up here on season All Stars 10. I think she's officially the queen with the quickest turnaround ever on the show. We also have Mistress Isabel Brooks from season 15, the only actual season 15 representative from, which is kind of shocking to some degree,
poor
was a
Irene just
finalist
got
there.
forgot about by
Oh,
you.
Just kidding. I just straight up forgot Irene.
You just threw her
Does she
out the
really
window.
count? She was only there for an
Yes, she still
episode. Okay,
counts. She still
just kidding. She
counts.
was there for a two-part episode. Okay, fine. Okay, and a reunion. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll redo it. Mistress, you're not the only season 15 queen. I'm sorry. You are the only season 15 finalist to show up here. We also have straight from season two, our oldest queen to be returning as far as when they were on the show. I don't know as far as age. But we have Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, our second boot from that season. And we also have Tinta Burner from season 13, who placed seventh. Um, this is a very wild group of queens, honestly. And I think while I feel like the outcome for me feels like the most obvious between this group, I think I'm the most excited to kind of get there. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like we have possibility to be very surprised here. Jack, what are your thoughts here overall on the pink group?
I think the pink group is the most lock, cut, and dry. Like, we know what's going to happen here. I don't think there's almost. I don't know if there's any room actually for anything else happening. You've got Georges, who's immediately going to be given a spot to the top nine, right? Like, there's no way you bring a queen back from the charity season that just happened and you're going to boot her immediately.
Right.
I
Yep.
don't see that happening.
Georges is the
Uh,
Bosco of this group for sure.
I
1000%.
think, and I think there's going to be a trend with you were talking about these season 14 girls. I think there's something to really watch about these season 14 girls. And I think one of the things that we see with who was brought back, I think we're going to see at least one queen of each group of the season 14 girls is going to go through, and one girl's going to get cut. So I think that kind of takes off the table Carrie Colby from going further. I'm not saying that Carrie couldn't surprise us. I'm just saying that there are some other powerhouses that we really need to discuss in this group. And the biggest one,
Nicole
and
Page Brooks.
Nicole Page Brooks, yes, you got me. No, the greatest threat in this group, in my opinion, to everyone is Mistress Isabel Brooks, MIB. This is the queen that everyone wanted to see back. This is the girl that needed to come back. This is the girl that definitely was going to have a chance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think that that is the most cut and dry. These two have got it in the bag.
Yep.
Now,
1000%.
this is where it gets a little tricky, I would say. We've talked about Nicole Page Brooks. She is brought back. She's had a long stint from it. I think she looked great in the promo. Do I think that she's going to get in? Probably not. Do I think Lydia has a chance? A very, very slight chance, only because she's so new. But do I see her going all the way? Probably not. And the other one, Tina. Tina is, I think, a very well rounded queen. I think she's coming to serve. I think she's the most unappreciated and unexpected contestant, I would say, of this group. Um, and for that alone, it gives me the possibility that she can be whatever production wants her to be. She can be the early out boot. She can be the girl that goes far enough to get through this group, or she could be the girl that surprises us all and comes back with like a force to be reckoned with. I think she has the greatest chance of getting past this. But if I had to put my bets on anyone, I think Lydia might be almost guaranteed a spot in the top nine, just because why bring someone back to immediately eliminate them in the very beginning? Now, of course, there is wiggle room there, but I just think that if it's not her, it probably goes to Carrie, and I think Tina's just going to get overshadowed.
Yeah, I feel you there. I feel like on paper, like looking at this group, Tina would be the third person I would throw in there with MIB and Georges, just because, like you said, I don't think we have two queens that are more locked into us. Actually, just kidding, Bosco. Um, I don't think we have two other queens other than Bosco that are more locked into a spot into this top nine. Other than Georges and MIB, but I do think MIB is definitely gonna earn her spot. Georges, I see a lot of growth at the end of her season, so I'm not that mad at her coming back, even though it's still just kind of like like it doesn't feel good, have someone back All Star seasons. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it because let's be real. There was a couple of spots that Georges probably was robbed in, and I do think there's a lot of people that probably saw Georges being an all-star contender. But as we're going to talk about with somebody else in the purple group, I just multiple all-stars, especially that close together, and just like there's part of it that kind of feels like if you want to give her a crown, just give her a damn crown. You know what I mean? Like Survivor through Rupert
Senator
or gave
Global, give her a free
right.
crown.
Yeah, like I mean, Survivor did America's Tribal Council back in the old days, and Survivor 8 when they wanted Rupert to win $1 million so bad that they just gave him $1 million. You know, like just if you really want the queen to have a crown, like you're gonna give them a crown. But don't like does it have to be like every other season that you bring this person back? I don't know, but that's a long-winded way of saying that. Yeah, that she's definitely locked in here. I was kind of going back and forth here between Tina and Lydia, because as you've been saying, as you said here, like Carrie, I want to give her a chance to like she's probably the one season 14 girl I was most excited to see back, just 'cause I love Carrie Colby a lot. I think she's so beautiful, um, and I personally really love her style and her drag. Um, People in the comment section might not, but I really appreciate Carrie a lot, and I really want to see her do well. I just definitely see much like Deja Sky. I don't think she's getting through based off of the girl that she got placed with. Especially because I feel like I remember hearing something, especially watching like Mistress's video, that I think her and Georges are friends too. And then if we also look back at this too, um, who's the only girl that even knew who Lydia was walking into the season? Mistress, because she was at the roast that Lydia did at the villains roast. So it's like, okay, this is very like coded to some degree that like, okay, are they trying to help Lydia through too?
Right.
So while I feel like personally for me, I was initially edging Tina being that third girl. I think you are completely right that they could do her so dirty if they want to. I mean, they've done it
I
before,
think they would.
and they totally will do it again if they want to. So it's just like I don't put it. There's just certain things that once you do it to a girl once in production, you're more than likely going to do it again. Like that's my fear with Aja. They could possibly do it again for her, but like I feel like Aja is that kind of girl that she's like no, I'm not gonna let that happen. Tina, unfortunately, I don't know if her skill set, especially in this group, is going to resonate as much because like when it comes to comedy, I mean like there's Mistress. Georges has proven that she's good at comedy. Lydia won the roast. Like I don't know if Tina's strengths are going to be something that we see here because clearly looks aren't 100% it. So, um, yeah, I think I agree with you as well here too. I think our three moving on here 100% will be Georges, Mistress Isabel Brooks, and Lydia Butthole Collins. So, that brings us to our purple group. And this purple group, wow, some of these promos, and wow, in some other ways too, two of these other promos. But um,
Well,
this is definitely could be a very interesting group to watch as well here too. So our final group consists of Acid Betty from season 8, who plays eighth place in one of, I would say, one of the most shocking, unexpected eliminations in Drag Race history. We have Alyssa Hunter from season 14, who also went home second to last. We love our second to last queens this season. We have Cynthia, can't even say her name. Cynthia Lee Fontaine from both season 8 and season 9, where she placed 10th on both seasons. We also have Diabetti from season 14, who was a finalist there. Denali from season 13, who placed 8th place. And then Ginger Minge returning for her 4th season overall. She's trying to be the new Jujubee. Runner up on season 7, 8th in All Stars 2, and runner up in All Stars 6. Jack, you know the question. Who are going to be our three to move on?
so this is the group with the most leeway, in my opinion. But I think two are guaranteed locks. Okay. Diabetes Alyssa Hunter. Here's the season 14 thing again. Finalist versus second out. I don't care what anyone says. They do not like Alyssa Hunter. I don't know what it is. They
Nope.
don't like Alyssa Hunter. They do not like Puerto Rican queens traditionally. All tea, all shade. Keep it real with us production. So I fear for Alyssa Hunter's safety and Diabetes, although I do think she will earn her spot completely. I think she's got a lock pretty much on it in comparison to Alyssa
Mm,
Hunter, who I think is just getting overshadowed once again. I think we have Cynthia Lee Fontaine that I think we're all kind of just over and we're done with. She is just here for
I think she's sweet. She's a really sweet king. I just wish she would just
she,
stop with the cuckoo. Like the cuckoo's
she
just a
can be
rose from
nice or
last row.
whatever,
Like
but the
just
looks aren't good. The challenge experience and how she does in them not great. Like she hasn't done the best track record wise, and her promo look is not giving anything other than the hair. So I
I
think
mean, I can't argue with
Diabetes,
you there, but
yeah. Okay, so
it's
here's
so
my thought.
nice.
Diabetes beats Alyssa Hunter for the first spot. Ginger
Yeah.
Minj is the most locked person in this group because why are you bringing back a queen for a fourth time who has made the final two of three times not to bring her back to get to the final again? There's just no way in
Hmm.
my mind that Ginger Minj gets sent home early
Nope.
unless they're trying to be like, this is the death of Ginger Minj, she's never coming back kind of idea.
Unless they actually
Um,
kill her, there's no way
right.
Ginger will be Jujubee and as the spot sitting at the final, like moving
Ginger
forward.
Ginger Minj is the fat white version of Jujubee. Like that's all this is at this point. Like we're like, okay, fine, whatever. So we got Southern Jujubee, we've got Diabetes, and then who do we have left? But between Denali, a fan favorite, and Acid Betty, a favorite of the fans to hate. And that's where things get kind of interesting here because I think everyone wants to see Denali go further because of what they want to see as fans. Acid is bringing us everything on this promo. She's really coming hard for the girls here. I mean, I would say she has easily one of the best promo looks of all of them, if not the best. And
Hmm.
so I think that spot is really up in the air unless we get the and this will be my hope. The hope would be that they kill off Ginger Midge in the first act and they're like, you know what, Ginger, never mind. You're not going, girl. You're too old. You busted, you've gone, bye bye bye. And we get both Bettys and Denali going further. I would
I
feel bad for Alyssa Hunter
mean,
still, but I like personally in this group, I don't want to see Cynthia go. I don't want to see Ginger go that far. Like both of them can get cut, and any of the three I'll be happy with. I mean, I think Daya needs to go like automatically. I want to see Acid probably the most, and given Alyssa's lack of track record, I think that means Denali would get it. So that was my hope. I think what's going to happen is Daya, Ginger, and Denali.
it's kind of there with you too, just because I feel like Acid's one of those. I feel like Acid falls into the same kind of boat that Tina Burner does, where it's just like,
They hate her.
regardless, not
They
production
hate her
hates
so
her.
much.
Production does not like Acid Betty, and I'm just like, I don't get why. I do not get it, and it's just like I think it's because she's hard and she's
It's something about that New
like
York Queens girl. They've got that edge. You either
she's
love them or hate
definitely
them.
has the edge, but the thing is though, she's not like a real like here's a like Acid is honest, but she's not a bitch. There's a difference between the two. Like she's very honest with her opinion, and yes, sometimes her opinion is extremely harsh, but she's not like a mistress who's going to go out of her way to start drama just to start drama. That's not Acid's MO. Like she will give you her opinion when you ask for it, and you probably won't like it because it's extremely blunt, but she's not necessarily out there to be the drama queen, 100%. Whereas someone like Mistress loves the drama, you know? She loves the attention. She loves causing shit. I don't think that's what Acid does. So I don't think that's I feel like production feels like they could utilize her to be the villain, but then when she turns out to be the sweetheart kind of thing, they don't know what the hell to do with
Hmm.
her, you know? So I don't want to say this either because it's like I love Denali. Like Denali, I have been wanting Denali back for years. Denali was by far one of my favorite girls from season 13. Easily one of my favorite girls ever to be on the show, honestly. I don't know what it is about her, but she just has. I resonate with her so much. I love her performance style. I think she's given two of the best lip syncs this franchise has ever seen, especially with 100% Love and then that lip sync face off with Lala Ree. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god. Oh my god. Um, and it's interesting too because I also feel like Denali also kind of falls a little bit into that spot of the Tina Burner a little bit, where it's like I feel like the production can kind of choose what they want to do with her as well too. So I'm like I feel like we're definitely on something here with the two season 14 girls, with one of them definitely being on and one not. So I think Diabetes definitely gets that spot. Sorry, Lysander, your promo is a fucking amazing. But I don't think you're getting that spot. I Ginger sadly has the spot locked. Like I don't see it a world where they don't push Ginger through. So between Denali and Acid, because sadly I agree with you. I don't think Cynthia has the challenge strength to move forward.
Send her home.
I I, I I think for the same reason that I can't go with Tina in the pink group is I think it's the same reason that I feel like I can't go with Sid in the purple group, even though she's like giving me the best promo. So I think it has to be Denali, Daya, and Ginger moving through for purple as well too. Um, that's insanity though.
You
But
know what's interesting about that though? Going back to the patterns where the two girls from 14 in each group and one gets through and one doesn't, probably. We have one girl from season 13 in each group, and we said that more than likely most of them aren't going to get through except for Denali.
well,
And
Olivia has a chance. Olivia has a very strong
Olivia has
chance,
a
I think.
chance. Tina
But
technically has a chance, but I I don't know. The season 13 girls, I think, are getting a kind of a raw deal here,
oh
looking at
no, they
these groups.
are. Well, season 14 is clearly like the favorite of the cast, like without a
It's,
doubt.
I mean,
And they
yeah,
clearly
at least
cast
one
filler
third of
girls
the
when they want
cast.
to, right?
I mean,
So,
look at Cynthia Filler Girl. So, and I'm not just
ouch.
talking about the face.
Woo.
But what I'm saying is that it's just an interesting thing to see. And, the queens that have come back multiple times, we gave them all guaranteed spots. Like Aja, technically, we gave Gorgeous, we gave Ginger all 100% locked in spots. So when you look at these trends, is this what every group is going to do? One girl automatic lock because this is their third or fourth time. One girl from season 14 because there are six of them, and then one spot left for the other four girls to fight over. Well, other three girls to fight over in each group, because if we're counting out the other girl from the 14th.
Mm-mm. I mean, honestly, especially after all the production, just everything in general, would not surprise me at all,
Yeah, like,
whatsoever. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of interesting patterns and stuff that we could possibly read into here, but honestly, we'll never know until this season actually starts. But we don't have much long to wait, considering it's literally just going to be on Friday. So, can never go that long without a Drag Race season. So, as always, excited to see how this turns out. But, you know, let's go ahead and talk about our favorite looks from this promo and from the entrances here, Jack. What were your favorites here?
for each group specifically, I think Pink had the worst kind of promos for me, but I think Tina's was my favorite. Believe it or not, Tina, you're winning a Look Award for
Gasp.
that. I know. I really want to shout out just quick to Phoenix and Aja did great, but I think Irene takes it for Orange Group. I think she looks amazing. It's a really fun style of drag. I've never been one for the alien kind of style, but if you're gonna bring something to Drag Race and it's gonna be unique and look cool and have these special patterns in them or texture, this is what I want to see. And then finally for purple, God, this was so hard. This is the group that definitely went the hardest. I think only one of them was really a flop in this group. As far as best, I'm gonna have to give it just slightly to Acid Betty because I just love seeing something so intricate. But special shout outs to Alyssa Hunter for that beautiful, gorgeous, royal, like purple and gold stitched outfit. It's everything. And Denali, that hair and that material used for the outfit, I was loving every second of it. And also one more shout out for my girl Diabetes because to pierce your on top of your body to then lace it through for your promo look, dedication to a craft, and it fit in so well with the lacing it throughout the whole thing. Love that attention to detail.
Who is your favorite out of all of them?
Oh, I think Acid Betty has to be the favorite though.
Yeah.
She really gave us everything.
I think I agree with everything but the fact that Tina having the best promo. I mean according to everybody else, me saying Carrie Colby has the best promo isn't much better, but you know,
He's my
I
number
fucking
two.
loved Carrie Colby's look here. I think it's so I know it's not pink, but I feel like it's I don't even care because there's pink accents on it. She has that big pink fucking cape on the back. Like it looks so good. I'm sorry. This is by far one of the best bodysuits we have ever seen on Paul's Drag Race. Or not bodysuits. Corsets. So
Bodysuit.
whatever. Eat it. I don't care. Terry Colby ate this for me anyway. Yeah, I definitely agree with you that Irene definitely best from Orange. Although I do want to definitely, I actually really liked Bosco's a lot too. Like it's been growing on me a lot too. I kind of hate it. Um, as well as Aja's. I really like Aja's too. But definitely for sure, Irene best promo from Orange. Best promo overall though. I can honestly, this could be literally a tie between Acid Betty and Alyssa Hunter. Like, it was so hard to choose
Mhm.
between the two. Like, these are the two best looks here, and I know a lot of people are disliking Alyssa's because it has a little bit like a court gesture look to it. That is the brilliance of this look, and the fact that she's able to come off so regal as being like such a I would say like a common gesture type that like so many people just make fun of. So good. So good. I love it. But I do have to say Acid Betty had by far, by far, one and away, the best promo look of them all, without a doubt. I think we're both in agreement to that. Who is your favorite entrance look out of the group? We can go group by group and then pick your favorite overall.
Well, my favorite of each group.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
If it's too
Well, I
hard, just
was
pick one.
my favorite entrance runway. Let's see. Probably for purple is Alyssa Hunter.
Agreed.
I would say for orange. Oh, let me just go with pink. Carrie Colby's was best runway entrance look for me, and then
Agreed.
for orange again, a lot of the girls were killing it. Um, in this group, Aja doing a thing to Roserade, like a colon I'm Roserade in drag form. I was like, oh, and then Bosco giving a sexy, like big shouldered suit and just oh my god, it was such a good drag. This is what drag is to me. Like I want
Mhm.
to see a real example of what is your kind of drag. I don't want to just see some goddamn dress that you bought or had just slightly tailored to your body. I want to see like extravagant. I want to see what is your drag. And these two, Bosco and Aja, top of my list. I just I gave it to my girl Aja, just slightly beating out Bosco, only because I have seen a
Pokemon
lot of
reference. Don't lie, it's the
yes,
Pokemon
The
reference.
Pokemon reference did a lot in that category, but also I have seen so much growth in Aja, I think, as really finding who she is. And I want to say that I've seen a lot in Bosco too. Bosco is still
Mm,
giving us that like an emphasis on showing skin, and a lot of her looks from the previous season were not a favorite of mine. And so this was very shocking. It still had who she was, but it elevated. And I was so excited for that. This Aja thing is just a throwback to who she is as a person. She loves video games. She loves these kind of we saw the Harajuku look, the anime girl look kind of thing on her All Star season before. So I just gave it to Aja for this. I think it's just an elevation to pick something so strong and fierce as this. Like,
Mhm.
all the gays are going wild. If you play video games, especially Pokemon, you went wild.
I mean, honestly, if Aja just wants to bring a Pokemon reference to every single runway this season, I'd be here for it. Um, I think that's the only reason the thing between her and Bosco's that made me slightly choose Bosco over her is that I get this is no, this is like who Aja is, and I love the aesthetic, whatnot, but it is technically a reference. Whereas I don't know I'm sure Bosco's is a reference to. I'm pretty sure I know who this girl is throughout my history on this earth. Can I place it at this moment? No, but I just Bosco's glow up here. Like this is insane to me. Like this is by far one of the best entrance looks I feel like we have seen on this show in such a long time. I'm like even with Plastic Tiara, with all of the amazingness that she brought to this stage, entrance look sucked. I'm sorry, her entrance look was not good. I'm just like, so this is what I look up for like a glow up when it comes to an entrance look. So I do think Bosco overall is number one for me when it comes to it. So I am I giving her the golden chocolate bar? No, but I definitely I don't think she probably even needs it this season. But that being said, Jack, let's go ahead and talk about for the last thing here. Let's just go ahead and choose our final four, and we're not going to necessarily do predictions here. As far as everything goes here, we can't even predict. Who the hell knows what production is planning on here? But
Wow.
at the end of the day, let's if we got to pick our top four, just based off of preconceived notions coming into the season without even seeing the season, without even possibly giving anybody a chance who possibly could blow up from the original season. Who would be your top four if you got to pick right now?
So I think first off, I've got to give Aja her flowers. I think she's one of the girls who was snubbed the hardest in terms of who should have made it to a finale and has not. Aja definitely gets a finale spot for me, no matter what. I think she's gonna show the girls who she is. I think she's gonna be someone to watch out for. Next, not so surprising. I love her. You love her. You love to hate her. If you don't like her, you're gonna love her and respect her at the very least. It's Mistress Isabel Brooks. She's clearly one of the front runners here. I'm excited to see her. I would love to see some plus size fucking representation for one goddamn time in the US. And don't anyone say shit because we haven't had one of those yet. So,
Excuse
love to
you,
see that.
Mistress is on a health journey. She's no longer plus sized.
Oh
So
my god, she's still plus size in comparison to a lot of
sorry.
these other girls. But anyways, so next up, my girl, another so-called villain. In fact, my top four is all quote unquote villains of their season, I guess. Daya Betty, I love this queen. I think she's always got something new to do. She's got a fun perspective on drag. She has come from making outfits out of paper cardboard sleeves, and I think there's something so raw about her drag, yet so fun. And she's always very vulnerable with who she is through her drag, and I love that. And my final spot goes to the definitely overlooked and most unlikely character to make it far into the show, in my opinion, is Acid Betty. I would love to see her go further. Her drag is on another level normally. So to come back for All Stars, I can't wait to see what she's going to give us on the runway. I can't wait to see what she's going to give us in the challenges. I think she has grown a lot. She was on season 8. Now it is season All Stars 10. It's been season 17 of normal Drag Race. She's had a long time to really prepare for this, and I think this is her time to really step up and show out these girls what she's got.
I mean, I love that list. I would be here for that top four. Um, my top four, yeah. Okay, I think I narrowed it down officially. Officially. And it's just like again, this is not our predictions for top four. Otherwise, Ginger Minge would be there,
Oh, yeah,
and probably
unfortunately.
Bosco.
And
As much as I
Georgia.
love Bosco's, yeah, and Georges too. I mean, honestly, like my, I mean, top four prediction: Ginger, Georges, Bosco, and then one other queen that I'll get to later. Um, but as far as who I want to see there, we'll start it off here with one of your picks here, Miss Acid Betty. I would love, love, love for Acid to have this be just her season where she's able to just, bring us everything that we knew that she could do in season eight. Uh, like I said, her elimination in season eight is by far one of the most shocking, and not to say that it was not deserved to some degree. But I don't think anybody saw Acid going out anywhere before Final Four. So as far as I'm concerned, I need a full season of Acid Betty. Like I need to see all the looks that she's gonna give, especially if these are the first two things that she's giving with her entrance and her promo. I really really need to see more from Acid. The other person also from Purple. But also, I guess I'm going in the order that I feel is most likely to least likely here as well here too. I'm putting Denali there as well here too. Like I cannot for the life of me think of any other girl from this purple group that I am rooting for more than Denali. I love Acid. I love Acid so much. But I feel like Denali is the robbed queen, that Rob princess that is here to take back everything that she deserved from her first season. Is she gonna get it? Probably not, because as we said, I don't know if the season 13 girls are their priority this season. I don't know if the season 13 girls were ever their priority. I'm looking at you, Rose. But I would love to see this be Denali's season to just own. Another girl. I'm gonna go ahead and jump to Orange here, and my favorite, I think, from the Orange group. Although I'm very tempted to put Irene there, because she
Hmm.
was by far, like I said, Irene is my dark horse, so I think I have to give her a special shout out. But I have to give my spot as favorite Orange member to Asha, as far as like the girl that I think deserves to go the furthest and will go the furthest. As far as that goes, I still think that probably Bosco probably outperform her to some degree. Not necessarily by my standards or anybody else's standards, but by the judges' standards. But I would love, 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 love nothing more than Aja to come back for the season, knowing her to be in her complete truth and to just demolish shit without a doubt. So I think Aja is probably like my not well, because Irene's the dark horse pick, but Aja, I guess, also would be kind of another dark horse pick. So I don't know if production is necessarily going to value her as much as they should, but I'm valuing you, Aja, and I love you so much. But the final spot here, I don't know if this is any shock here, just because I've skipped one group out entirely. I've also alluded to one girl probably being in the top four that I don't think is necessarily that might be pushed by production a little bit, but I think this queen, without a doubt, will 1000% earn her spot in the end. And she is not only the last person in my top four, but the person that I am rooting for the most to win this fucking season, and that is Mistress Isabel Brooks. If Mistress does not win this season, there's some shenanigans going on. I'm sorry, Miss. This is by far just I don't see any other queen on this cast that is ready for the level of stardom that Mistress is. Like she is without a doubt the most hilarious person on this cast. I think the person that is most sure of herself in this cast. The person that I think is the most versatile out of all this cast. And I think the one queen that could really shake up everything. Because, like you said, Jack, we have 17 seasons of regular Drag Race, 9 seasons of All Stars. We have never had a plus size winner. I'm just going to go back to America's Next Top Model, and I will always think about the fact that they literally rigged season 10 for their plus size winner. And I thought they were going to do that for Eureka until Eureka and the fan base just didn't get along. I kind of feel like this is their moment to make everything right. And because Rue loves to do things that Tyra did as well too, low key, look back at some of the things that Rue has done, by the way, and see how much it compares to Next Time Model. That it will blow your mind how many comparisons there are that will literally, like there's so many similarities there. Um, but I do think this could be their way to be like, okay, we are giving the big girl season 10, and I feel like Mistress is going to earn it 1,000%. So, yeah, I think Mistress is my winner pick, and we'll go from there. Um, Jack, are you on the same page here? Are you Team Mistress as well too?
I'm definitely Team Mistress, but that doesn't mean I'm not Team anyone else.
Well,
I
you
think,
could be Team other people without just
yeah,
rooting for Team
I
Mistress.
want to
But
just
is she your top winner pick at this point?
no. I wouldn't say anyone is necessarily my 100% top winner pick because there's so little content to go off of. I really try to judge people based on their season of what they show. For example, if I don't think you're giving it this
Hmm.
season and you did give it on your original season, like I'm gonna be like, wow, that's shocking, but I want you gone. I
Says
try to
the
be very
safe
fair.
fan.
Yeah, because she was giving. But anyways, so
Mm.
point being that I'm willing to be open to anyone to surprise me. I really want to take my pick at the point of when we get to the top nine. I want to see what the girls give in the first three challenges. Um, Obviously, I will form my opinions after the first episode of all the girls, but I'm extremely hopeful that Mistress does do extremely well. I want to see her in the top four. I think she's kind of got a lock on the top four. Out of all the girls who could make it to the top four, the only two that I think are how do I say this? The two girls I feel like are already guaranteed top four are Bosco, Ginger, and then Georges. And so I feel like that last spot is going to be between Mistress and Aja in my mind, more than likely. And I'm not saying that none of the girls could outdo one of the other girls, but it seems like anyone that's coming back for for more than a first time is guaranteed. And I feel like Bosco just feels like she has the most presence in a lot of the trailers and stuff that's going on. So I just feel like they're kind of getting us prepared for that.
No, I agree with you there. I definitely see the world of the Ginger, Georges, Bosco, and more than likely, I would say I would probably edge Mistress out over Aja, but I
Yeah.
could see Aja being there too. Um, so you know, if that ends up what it being, don't be saying that we read spoilers, y'all, because this was just like a
Girl,
straight
it'd
deep
just be a rigged
analyze
thing.
that,
Come
that just
on.
happened. Like we just sat here for the last like what hour. When we said this is going to be a 30-minute podcast, we sat here for the last hour, and I think we just literally might have just cracked the season. But as far as I'm concerned, if Mistress wins, it'll be fun with the production riggery. Just make sure you rig it for the right person. Thank you. Um, yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll find out here on Friday. We're literally what 4 days away from All Stars 10, which is insanity still to me at this point. But as always, can't wait to see how this turns out. And who knows if our predictions will be true. Guess we'll only have one way to find out. And that's just to watch season. And you know what? We will be back to cover every single episode. More than likely, I think we'll be doing some weekend drops for the podcast here. We're going to try to get them out as quick as possible, much like the All Stars 9 ones, just because, a little bit easier to plan when the episode doesn't have a drop time and just kind of goes up whenever. So, um, I think it'll make the watch parties and stuff for All Stars a little bit but might make content making for it a little bit more easier. So, yeah. Jack, any final words here as we leave All Stars 10 or we begin All Stars 10 here?
You know, words of advice from a queen who's been on the show and probably will never be back. Every season needs filler queens. And
Mhm.
if you're one of those filler queens and you know who you are, and everyone knows who I'm talking about, Cynthia, I'm just saying, still be kind to those queens. They put a lot of effort into this, and just because they're not going to be the winner, and just because they probably won't go far, doesn't mean they're not talented.
Yeah, Jack, be kind to Cynthia, please. Dear Lord.
That was me being kind. That
Well,
was me being
yeah,
kind.
on that health fart. Oh my God, I'm gonna need to edit this podcast.
So badly.
Well, yeah, on that health. Oh my God, I can't even speak. Well, yeah, on that health. Oh my God, what am I trying to say?
Are you trying to say helpful?
Heart,
Hellfire?
heart, heartfelt, heartfelt. Okay, there we go. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, on that heartfelt moment, sponsored by QuackrrJack. Just want to say thank y'all so much for listening, and hopefully y'all are just as excited to be watching this new season here along with us. Make sure, again, please like, subscribe, comment below, lets us know that you are enjoying the content so we can make sure we get this out on a regular basis here for y'all. But until next time, and on behalf of my podcast host, QuackrrJack, this is Renegade, signing out. Bye!
Bye.